welcome to story time today. It's so good to see you. It's so good to say hi to Connor and hi to Rowan and my friends Abby and Nate and Luke and my friends Hazel and Emma and Penny and a new friend Serenity. Hi to all of you and hi to any of the other people that I didn't name because it's so good to see you. Hopefully, if I don't know your name, maybe you'll stop by the Harvard Dickens Library where I work and I can get to know you. My name is Mrs. Kieran, and like I said, I work at the Harvard Dickens Library. And today, for our story time today, we're talking about lights. L for lights. And I'll bet you can see some lights right there behind me. That's our library Christmas tree. Now, where I'm sitting right now to read our story, you can only see part of it. But I'm going to take a minute and show you what the whole tree looks like. Are you ready? Close your eyes, and I'll tell you when to open them.
Open your eyes now. There's the library Christmas tree. Isn't it pretty?
That's a beautiful Christmas tree, isn't it? You can only see part of it, but that's why I wanted you to see the whole thing because it's full of lights. Now, whether you celebrate Christmas or you celebrate Diwali or you celebrate Hanukkah, those holidays have lots of lights in them. Candles, maybe, or electric lights like are on our Christmas tree. Maybe you put some lights on the outside of your house. The lights make everything look so wonderful, especially at this time of the year when it's very dark out at night. The lights shine some brightness and make us smile, don't they? Lights is this word right here, lights. And it starts with our letter this week, which is the letter L. Oh, L starts the word lights. And yes, you guessed it. I've got some Christmas lights right here. They don't light up, but they're fun, and I'll show you how to make them in just a minute. But I've got a special story to share with you today that I think you're going to really like because it has some lights in it. It's called Let It Glow, A Winter's Walk, and it's by Owen Gildersleeve. And as you watch, as I turn the pages, you'll see that there are some pretty lights that light up in our story. Are you ready? Let it go. Let it glow, A Winter's Walk. A boy walks out. His journey starts. His parcel clutched tight to his heart. You see the one light there right above the store where he's leaving? Watch for more. He wanders through the Christmas fair. A choir's carols fill the air. They sing of bells and mistletoe, and candles set the scene aglow. Isn't that pretty? It's frosty, but he's homeward bound. His feet crunch on the icy ground. He spots a girl who tows a sled as lampposts light his path ahead. And there's a light in the lamppost right there. He feels the very first snowflake and passes by the frozen lake. The skaters form a whirling swirl of pink-cheeked boys and giggling girls. That little girl right there has a lantern that she's holding so she can see where she's skating. These people here have a little fire to keep them warm, and there is the light of the moon. He leaves behind the rowdy crowds, and as he goes, breathes misty clouds. He walks and hugs his parcel tight, and up above the stars shine bright. Ahead, his house comes into view, the door aglow, each window too. Soon he's home and warm inside, his family await, wide-eyed. He holds his parcel by the tree and frowns. What's missing? Let me see. He takes a look and says, I know, a star for Christmas. Let it glow. And look what he was carrying home. There's the star for the top of his Christmas tree. And there are the pretty lights all around his house that light up Christmas. Isn't that an awesome book? It's got lights built into this story. How fun, isn't it? I'm going to teach you a song that has some lights in it, and I think you'll have fun with it. It's sung to a song, the melody is something you probably already know. If you know the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, then you'll be able to sing this song with me. And let me show you how it goes. It goes, twinkle, twinkle, Christmas lights, shining bright all through the night. On my tree and in my yard, I can see their glow from far. How I love the Christmas lights, they are such a happy sight. And we end with a smile on our face because the lights on our Christmas tree and lights outside make us happy at this dark time of year, don't they? Let's try singing that again. Give it a try with me. Are you ready? First, we're going to make the lights flashing in the sky. Are you ready? Twinkle, twinkle, Christmas lights, shining bright throughout the night. On my tree or in my yard, I can see their glow from far. How I love the Christmas lights, they are such a happy sight. Oh, look at your smiling face. I love to see that. Would you like to know how I made my Christmas lights, my string of Christmas lights? Let me show it to you because I think you'll have fun making a string of lights yourself. There is what it looks like. Doesn't that look like real Christmas lights? You can make a string as long as you want. I only have 5 lights on mine, but you can make yours as long as you want. I'm going to give you a list of supplies, and I'll give you a minute to go and get those supplies, and then I'll show you how to make your Christmas string of lights. Are you ready? Here we go.
Now that you have your supplies together, let's make a string of Christmas lights. Hopefully you've already prepared your construction paper so that you have a strip of green construction paper that is 4 inches long and 1 inch wide. And then you have several strips of colorful construction paper, any color you'd like, that are 8 inches long and 3/4 of an inch wide. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the plug for the Christmas light. To do that, take one of your pieces of green construction paper, and we're going to fold it in half 3 times, just like this. We'll fold it in half once, then we'll fold it in half again, that's 2 times, and now we're going to fold it in half one more time, that's 3 times. So it's very small. Then what we're going to do is we're going to unfold it. And this is when we're going to use our paper punch to punch holes in the 3rd rectangle that we folded. Now it's probably hard for you to see that. So what I did was I took another piece of paper, folded it the same way, and then I drew lines where the folds are. You can see the folds pretty well on your paper, but you probably can't see them on mine. So I drew the lines so you could see what I meant when I said the 1, 2, 3 or third hole. What we'll do is we're going to fold our paper in half, and in the 1, 2, 3, or if I fold it this way, in the 1, 2, 3 third rectangle, we're going to punch a hole through both pieces of paper. So let me do that on my first piece of paper. Remember, we folded in half, then in half, and then in half, and then we unfolded it so that we could see where the 1, 2, 3 third rectangle is. And now we're going to punch a hole in that 3rd rectangle, just like that. Now unfold your paper, And we're going to have to fold that paper, the green plug part, fold it on each fold to make each fold nice and crisp. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm making a circular shape as I fold, as I refold the paper. Now, as I make that circular shape, I'm going to take these last two rectangles and I'm going to overlap them with the last two rectangles on this side of the paper so that they fit together very nicely. And now you can see I have the shape of my plug. This hole is opposite of this hole. This is where I'm going to put my string so that I can hang my Christmas light when it's done. Once you have your paper refolded into a circular shape, you're going to take your glue stick and put a little bit of glue on two of those rectangles that overlapped at the end. Put a little bit of glue on those two and then overlap them again, making sure you bend the shape so that you keep that circular plug shape just like that. You can keep making plug shapes over and over based on how many lights you'd like to have on your string. I'll show you one more time how to make that plug. We're going to fold our paper in half once, then in half again or 2 times, and then in half again for 3 times. Then remember what we're going to do. We're going to unfold the paper, keep it folded in half, and count 1, 2, 3 rectangles. And in that third rectangle, we'll punch a hole with our hole punch, and there is the start of our plug. Then we will unfold the paper and bend on each of the folds again to make a nice round shape. That round shape makes a circle or a circular shape. And then we're going to overlap the ends, make sure that our holes are opposite each other, and then put a little bit of glue on the last 2 end rectangles that overlapped. Overlap them again, and there we go. Now we have a second plug. Now let's make a light. Which color should we use? I think I would like to have my first light be orange. So take one of your long colored construction paper strips, and the light is a very easy thing to make. We're going to fold the construction paper in half and make a nice crease at the end of it. Then we're going to take our hole punch and punch a hole right at the end of the paper where the paper is open, not on the fold end, but on the open end. Then I'm going to pinch the open end with my fingers and kind of squash up the light just a little bit so it gives it a nice kind of fat light shape, just like that. Now I'm ready to string my light onto my light bulb. But I think before I do that, I'm going to make one more color. What should I use? I think I'll use blue. So I'm going to take a long blue strip, fold it in half, make a nice squeeze tight fold at the other end, and then the end that is open, I'm going to use my hole punch, punch another hole. There we go. Then I'm going to hold to this end, and the fold end I'm going to punch up, punch, 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 just like that, to make a nice fat light. Now I think I'd like to string my blue and my orange lights together. I'm going to push my other materials out of the way so that you can see how I'm going to string them. Here are my plugs, and here are my lights. Take a piece of yarn or string, and one of the things I like to do is I like to put a piece of tape at the end of my yarn to make a sort of needle. The yarn can fray as you put it through the holes of your lights. So by putting a piece of tape, wrapping that piece of tape around the end of your yarn, you have an easier, what I like to call a needle, to put through your light. It's not a real needle. It won't poke you and hurt you, but it does make it easier to thread the yarn through your light. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our plug, and we're going to take the tape end of the plug, and we're going to put the tape end of the yarn, and we're going to put it in one hole of the plug and pull it up. Then we're going to grab one of our light bulbs, and we're going to take that yarn, hang on to it, we're going to put the light bulb up through the plug, and then the yarn through the light. Pull the yarn out of the other side of the light, and you can pull the light down through the plug. And then we're going to take that taped end of our yarn and put it through the other side of the plug, just like so. My tape yarn is getting stuck. Yours probably won't, but mine is getting stuck. And there we go. There we have our first Christmas light. Let's do the blue one next, shall we? We'll do it the same way. Push your first light down the yarn a little bit, and then take your plug, using your taped end of your yarn, push the yarn through one hole of the plug, pull it up, then take your Christmas light, put the two holes together, and put it up through the plug. It has to go up through the plug, just like so. And then put the yarn through the light bulb. At that point, you can pull the light bulb down through into the plug a little bit, and then take your yarn and put it through the other hole in the plug. And there are your Christmas lights. Don't they almost look like real Christmas lights? Now, if you would like, you can use the other strips of paper that you cut and keep going and keep making lights and plugs until you get as many Christmas lights on your light string as you would like. There's no end to the number of lights you can have on your string.
Aren't those Christmas lights fun to make? I have 5 on my string, but I think I'm going to go and make some more because they were so much fun to make. I would love to see your string of Christmas lights. So when you're done with your craft, ask a grown-up to take a picture of you with your string of Christmas lights. And then I'll show you at the end of our video, I'll show you which email address to send that picture to so I can see your string of Christmas lights. Thanks so much for joining me today for story time about lights and seeing our Christmas tree at the library. I hope I get to see you sometime soon at the library. If not, make sure you keep reading lots of really good books. I'll see you next time. Bye.